Legia, laced with grim certainty. "I told you, didn't I?" he growls. They are preparing for war. The rulers intend to turn Earth into their personal battlefield, to wage war against their ancient enemies, the monarchs. Jin-Woo remains calm, one hand casually in his pocket, but his mind is racing. He doesn't understand. How does sending monsters to Earth prepare it for a war? Legia's answer is deceptively simple. They plan on inserting magic energy into your world. The gates, the monsters, the chaos, it was all part of a grand, terrifying design to fundamentally alter the planet. For humanity, this has been a paradox. The monsters that emerged from the gates were apocalyptic disasters, wiping out cities and armies. But the magic energy they left behind? That was seen as a blessing. This blessing came in the form of magic stones and mana crystals. For hunters and civilians alike, these became the world's greatest source of energy, fueling a new era of technology and power. It was the silver lining to the apocalypse. But Jin-Woo now sees the horrifying truth. The new energy sources, the rise of hunters, the entire system the world has been built on, it was all just laying the foundation. They were the footsteps paving the road to an unimaginable war. Legia explains the grotesque mechanics of the rulers' plan. To infuse a world with a power it doesn't possess, there's no better method than using the blood of those who already have it. The rulers decided to use the hostages, sacrificing them within the gates. The magic energy concentrating on Earth? It's the spilled blood of countless demons. The goal is to strengthen the world, to make it durable enough that it won't simply disintegrate from the sheer shockwaves of the coming war. Jin-Woo presses for more. And by war, you mean? The answer is an apocalyptic vision of cosmic chaos. The rematch between the rulers and the monarchs. Legions of shadowy, monstrous monarchs clash with brilliant, winged rulers in a cataclysmic battle that tears the very fabric of reality apart. Legia's prophecy is absolute. The world as Jin-Woo knows it will become a living hell. And it will happen much, much sooner than anyone thinks. His voice grows urgent. There isn't much time. Now that we have made contact, we've drawn the attention of both sides. Neither the rulers nor the monarchs will stand by. In fact, the rulers are likely already on the move. Jin-Woo senses the implication in Legia's words. "You keep making it sound like they're after me," he says, his purple eyes narrowing. "How come?" A condescending tone creeps into the Legia's voice, a chilling pity for Jin-Woo's ignorance. "So you really don't know anything." And then comes the most devastating revelation of all. The power Jin-Woo wields, the very source of his strength, is not truly his own. He inherited it from its original owner, an owner who betrayed the rulers. By possessing this power, Jin-Woo has inadvertently painted a target on his back for both of the most powerful factions in the universe. He has become an enemy to the rulers and the monarchs. Sensing Jin-Woo's new, isolated position, Legia makes his pitch. He alone swears to remain by Jin-Woo's side, to fight with him against both cosmic armies. He makes a desperate plea. "So won't you help me?" Jin-Woo listens, his face an unreadable mask as the purple aura of the Shadow Monarch swirls around him. He is processing, calculating, and his response is ice cold. "If you truly only want to help me," Jin-Woo says, his voice devoid of emotion, "it'd be easier for you to just become a shadow soldier, wouldn't it?" Legia is stunned into silence. The sheer audacity, the chilling logic. It's something he wasn't prepared for. Jin-Woo's glowing purple eyes lock onto the demon, his power and presence overwhelming the ancient hall. In that single, terrifying moment, Legia sees something else inside Jin-Woo. A fleeting glimpse of him, a flicker of the original terrifying power that once shook the cosmos. Recovering, Legia reveals a critical piece of information. Both rulers and monarchs are bound to their spiritual forms. When those forms die, they cannot be resurrected as shadows. It's a fundamental law of the universe. "And so I cannot become your soldier," Legia declares, his body still bound by the glowing blue chains on the ritual circle. "Is that enough for you to help me now?" Jin-Woo processes the new information. He understands the situation now, but something still feels off. His instincts are screaming. As he summons his dagger, the final piece of the puzzle clicks into place. There's something he's missing, or rather, something Legia is deliberately leaving out. Legia, sensing his chance for freedom is slipping away, begs one last time. Please, he growls, his entire massive form straining against the magic. Free me from these chains. Jin-Woo looks at the bound demon, his own purple aura flaring. You said you'd be by my side, right? He asks, his voice dangerously calm. Legia quickly agrees. Of course. If you help me, I will help you. This is a fair and absolute deal between monarchs. With a deafening crash, the magical chains binding Legia shatter into pieces. With the demon now free, Jin-Woo looks at the hulking figure before him. The first part of their deal is done. So then, Jin-Woo fixes his gaze on the demon, his glowing eyes boring into its soul, as he asks the one question that will expose everything. Are you on the side of humans? Legia is silent. The demon's glowing red eye stares back, but no words come out. Why are you silent? Jin-Woo presses, his patience wearing thin. Gripping his dagger, Jin-Woo's mind connects the dots. The demon can't answer. Not because it won't, but because it can't. Is it because of the oath of faith? A power that forces obedience. A curse disguised as loyalty. Jin-Woo lays the trap bare. That magic stone behind your neck. As long as it exists, you too must be hearing the words of the rulers, and he knows exactly what those words are. The same command given to every monster that comes through a gate. Kill the humans. The demon's lies are exposed. Its true, malevolent nature is revealed in a snarl of jagged teeth. Legia lunges, its power crashing down. The deal's off, Jin-Woo declares, his voice like thunder as he evades the grab. It's too dangerous to let you live, Jin-Woo declares, as he inserts his dagger into Legia's chest. You could become a calamity. No, you're mistaken, Legia snarls back, pushing against the immense pressure. The calamity is not me, it's YOU. Legia's red eye glows with pure fury. In response, he erupts from behind Jin-Woo, letting out a deafening roar. The hunt is on. The battle is instantaneous and brutal. Jin-Woo moves like a phantom, his attacks too fast for the eye to follow. Legia is completely overwhelmed, unable to withstand the relentless assault of a true monarch. Jin-Woo dodges a desperate attack from the chain giant, his movements fluid and precise. He counters with a devastating blow, his fist crackling with black lightning, sending the demon reeling. With a final guttural scream of agony and rage, Legia's form begins to destabilize, unable to handle the sheer force of Jin-Woo's power. As Jin-Woo stands, Legia's final words echo. As the battles become more frequent, the faster your world will become an increasingly fierce war zone. As he falls, Legia unleashes a final, bitter curse. I pray, he hisses, that everything you hold dear and protect turns to ash, burned by the karma of war. Jin-Woo watches, his glowing purple eye cold and unwavering. It won't go as you hope. With a final, agonizing cry, the demon's form completely disintegrates. A familiar blue screen appears before Jin-Woo. You have defeated the dungeon boss. You have defeated Legia, one of the 9 original monarchs. In the aftermath, Jin-Woo stands resolute, dagger in hand, facing the dissipating form of the defeated monarch. The chains that once bound Legia rumble and fall silent. It's too bad I didn't get any shadow soldiers, he muses, just as Legia predicted. But he spots an item left behind. I guess I'll take this as a souvenir. As the dungeon collapses, a new notification flashes. After all the revelations and the brutal fight, Jin-Woo has finally reached level 122. Meanwhile, back in the United States, the distinct sound of rotor blades echoes across the grounds of a massive, opulent estate. A helicopter has landed on the lawn of a private mansion, signaling the arrival of some very important guests. Inside, a man in casual loungewear looks up, surprised. This is Christopher Reed, one of the world's few nation-level hunters, and he wasn't expecting company. 2 figures approach the estate. A man in a sharp suit, identified as the vice director, and a woman with dark, curly hair, Ms. Selner. The vice director immediately requests a private audience. This is clearly not a social call. Christopher Reed gives a firm order to his staff. No one is to be allowed near his room until his guests have left. Whatever this meeting is about, it requires absolute privacy. In a luxurious sitting room, Chris leans back on his sofa, already annoyed. If this is about some S-rank gate, he says dismissively. I'm not going, Selner shakes her head. I'm not here because of a gate, Chris. There's a much more serious problem than that. Chris raises an eyebrow, intrigued. More serious than an S-rank gate? Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room shifts. An ethereal blue energy surrounds Chris, and his eyes begin to glow with a brilliant, otherworldly light. Ms. Selner delivers a chilling prophecy. Chris, you may be murdered in the future.